What if the secret to joy wasn't in gaining more but losing what holds you back from God? What if spiritual success looked like mourning, mercy, meekness, and even being persecuted? Welcome to the radical wisdom of the Beatitudes. And no, it's not about being religious, it's about becoming real. Let's journey through ancient truths that speak louder than ever in our broken world. The mystic who saw Jesus' soul. 18th century German mystic, Anne Catherine Emmerich claimed to have visions of Christ's life so detailed that artists and theologians alike studied her revelations. But her greatest insight wasn't in the visuals. It was in the inner posture of Jesus. She didn't describe a superhero. She described a man broken for the broken, joyful in pain, and calm in storms. The Beatitudes, she said, were not just teachings, but reflections of Jesus' own inner life. What if these aren't rules for holy people, but invitations to become whole? Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Spiritual poverty isn't about lacking talent or being weak. It's about knowing you need help. Imagine being terrible at golf, but getting one-on-one lessons with Tiger Woods. The worse you are, the more you're open to learning. In the same way, when we admit we're spiritually poor, when we say, God, I don't have what it takes, we open ourselves up to the kingdom. Not a fantasy land, but a life led by grace, not ego. I once mentored a teenager in rehab who said, I'm done pretending I have it all together. That was his breakthrough, not when he tried harder, but when he surrendered. Blessed are those who mourn. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. This isn't about crying over a breakup or a bad grade. It's a sacred mourning for the brokenness of the world. Imagine Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, not just fearing death, but absorbing the weight of humanity's hatred, war, greed. His sorrow was so deep, blood seeped from his pores. Mourning isn't weakness. It's proof that your heart hasn't gone numb. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Meekness isn't passivity or being a doormat. Think feather-like grace with iron-core strength. Jesus didn't lash out when mocked or beaten. He didn't shout back, he stood firm. Meekness is about restraint when you could destroy, and mercy when you could condemn. In a world obsessed with dominance, meekness is revolutionary power. Hunger and thirst for righteousness. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Not just liking justice, craving it like water in a desert. Imagine being stranded at sea for days, parched, delirious. That's the intensity Jesus describes. But here's the twist. Righteousness isn't about being self-righteous. It's aligning your life with God's definition of justice, not culture's, not your own. Blessed are the merciful. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. I once heard of a mother whose son was murdered. At the funeral, she stood up and pleaded for forgiveness for the killer. That's not natural. That's supernatural. Mercy is divine. It bypasses vengeance, even justice. I will not be who pain tries to make me. If you want mercy, give mercy. Every act of compassion is a crack in the walls of hell. Pure in heart. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Not because they're perfect, but because their hearts are uncluttered. Free of ego, jealousy, distraction. Try this. If God walked into your life today, what in your heart would block your view? Let it go, even slowly, because only then can you truly see beauty, truth, God. Peacemakers, not peace lovers. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Want peace? Don't just post about it, make it. In your home, your office, your church. Peace isn't passive. It takes courage to break cycles of gossip, bitterness, or violence. A Cherokee story says we all have two wolves, inside one angry, one peaceful. The one that wins is the one you feed. Blessed are the persecuted. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Persecution will come not because you're doing it wrong, but because you're doing it right. Truth has always worn a crown of thorns. You may lose friends, followers, jobs, comfort, but you'll find a deeper joy, the kind that no one can steal. So what now? The Beatitudes aren't a checklist, they're a mirror. They show us the kind of person Jesus isn't, the kind of person we're becoming. Yes, the road is narrow. Yes, we'll fall. But every fall is an invitation to rise again. Every beatitude is a call to let go of the false self and live free. True blessing doesn't come from the world's applause, but from God's presence. Let go of what you cling to. Open your hands. Let God fill them with something better.